think we played very well in the second half. We played more connected than we did in the first half. I know we got down, I think it was 15, and I think we played with some resilience in the second half without Devontae, because like, let's do it for our brothers so we could get here and maybe play tomorrow. So I think we just bonded together in the second half. We made a run and came out with the win.
Alejandro Zuniga, 24/7 Sports. For both of you, can you describe the emotion of getting Devontae back in practice today?
Well, it was great, obviously, to see a familiar face, somebody who we've been in the trenches with all season. Just to see that he was healthy again, because we know he was in the concussion protocol, and it's not easy for a lot of guys, me speaking inexperience. So it was just great to see him back. It felt like we were a full team again, and just made us ready for tomorrow even more.
SEC. They average about 9 steals a game. How important is obviously point guard play and overall ball control with them when they're so good at creating turnovers in this game?
Yeah, like you just said, they definitely create a lot of turnovers, but we just can't give them extra possessions, and we just can't always come out offensive situation without getting a shot up. We're gonna make mistakes, turnovers are gonna happen, but when mistakes add up and on, that's when the problems occur. And so we can't have that, and add another ball handler with DJ would definitely help that.
Yeah, Devontae and most of our guards, like the stability on offense comes from the guards. So just to have them back, we know we're going to be a sound team defensively, sound team offensively, and it just adds to what I feel like our momentum going into this game is. So it's good for that, yeah.
With that said, as a follow-up, how crucial it is to get that point guard back with veteran experience, as opposed to as good of a job he did yesterday, Frankie. Just throwing it on a freshman like that with that defense.
I just think it adds more to our arsenal. Obviously, Frankie had a great game yesterday. He really stepped up for his big, and I know that's going to carry over into not just tomorrow, but for hopefully the rest of this run and until next season. So I just think now having more options as a team is just going to make us more dangerous in this month.
Andrew Kahn, MLive. Jace, this is for you about your brother and his recruitment. I know Tennessee was very much involved there. Is there anything you can share about if you helped him out or anything, or just your connection with Tennessee and Rick Barnes, if there is one?
I don't personally have a connection with him, but I know Jet's excited for this game. I talked to him yesterday. He congratulated us on the win, and I know obviously he was very close to choosing them over us. So this is it's a revenge game for me personally, us too, and yeah, I just think it makes days like tomorrow even more exciting. But yeah, it's definitely something we're all looking forward to, I would say.
For both you guys, Eli Brooks in the second half, it really seemed like he had a lot of hustle plays and work ethic plays. What has he been like this week? Obviously, this is his last tournament run with Michigan.
He's been locked in. He's been here for 5 years, and that's not his first March Madness. He knows what it takes to get farther and farther. I know he's been in the championship game. He's been in Final Four, so he knows what it takes, and we're going to follow his lead.
Yeah, he's definitely the head of our snake, I would say. He's like, I know the coaches said this, he's like an extended coach on the floor. So him being somebody that's been through this and he's been where we want to go as a team, it just makes it easiest for us to lean on him because he's like a blueprint. We use him in practice, we use him in the games, and he's always somebody that you could talk to when you have a question or just want to better your basketball mind. So it's great to have him, and it's going to be fun for sure.
Personally, for me, just taking it one game at a time. That's really the biggest thing at this point of the year.
Yeah, staying in the moment. You can't be anywhere else instead of the moment that you're in, so he's very key on that for sure.
We have a question on Zoom. Unmute yourself and state your name and affiliation.
Hey, this is Chris Heidel from Herbertson Radio in Baltimore, Maryland. I got a question from all three of you guys. What does Tennessee look like? I know you guys play in the Big Ten a lot. Do they look like some team that you see in the Big Ten a lot?
They definitely do with their playing style. The guards get out quick. They run it like 2 guards, and they like to split the floor in transition. That reminds us more of like MSU. They run 2 bigs sometimes. That reminds us of Arizona, even though they're not in the Big Ten that we played against in Las Vegas. So we've seen a playing style many of times. We just got to stick to our habits and defend and do what we are taught, and I think we can win.
Yeah, especially number 25. We related him a lot to Sasha Stefanovic on Purdue, being somebody that doesn't stop moving without the ball, like Steph Curry, and making it a priority to stop him and locate him in transition, because they're a great transition team as well. Like T said, they remind us a lot of MSU in that way, how they get the ball and just go, catches it at 3-point line extended, and it's important for us to locate everybody in transition, locate their shooters, because that's a big part of their game plan and their DNA. So that's going to be key for us tomorrow.
I know both in games and between, from a game-to-game basis, consistency has been an issue with this team. In your opinion, how close are you guys to figuring out how to play a full game and how to play a run of games, good games in a row?
Well, to answer your question, I feel like our consistency is very odd, because we've had games where we had full games that I feel we've played pretty well, and games like yesterday where we were second-half team. But the key is you want to make sure we don't put ourselves in that position again, because as fun as it is, as crazy as March is, that luck's going to run out if you keep on putting yourselves in those deep holes in the first half. And we understand that, we're evaluating that, and we are going to, I don't want to say we're going to be on like pins and needles tomorrow, but we're definitely going to come out with a different urge than how we did yesterday, for sure.
Terrance, Phil Martelli likened Hunter Dickinson to a WWE villain on the court. What's he like off the court? You've spent a lot of time with him. You grew up with him. Mm-hmm. Is he similar personality?
Off the court, he's very cool and he's funny. Like, he is on the court, he does a lot of funny stuff. But I know when he's on the court, he's locked in and he just has fun with the game. What comes with that is a lot of trash talking. That's what he does. And he's always been doing that since he was little, since I've been playing with him. So he hasn't changed one bit. But like you said, off the court, he's cool, he's funny. So, I mean, yeah, it just translates on the court, to be honest.
We have a question on Zoom. Please unmute and state your name and affiliation.
Yeah, Gary Graves from the Associated Press. How much did yesterday really kind of get some of that, I don't want to say relief, for you in getting past that first game, but, how did it feel to kind of rally in a game like that and kind of get focused back to what you all do best? For either one of you.
I'd probably say that yesterday that game was a mirror of our season. First half of the season didn't go as how we planned. It made us really dig down deep and decide how bad we wanted to finish out the season, how bad we wanted to meet our goals, and that's just how life is. So I remember saying at halftime, this game is going to mirror our season. Coming out in the second half like we did in the second half of the season, we were resilient. We flipped it around, and we gave ourselves the opportunity to be somewhere like how we are today. And I just think that's really good for us moving forward, because now we have something to fight for. Not saying that we didn't before, but it just adds that little juice, and no time better for that than March. So.
Bob Winowski from the Detroit News. For either player or both players, everybody talks about Tennessee's defense, their propensity for stealing the ball and everything else. What is particularly daunting about their defense that you have to be wary of?
I think it's the guard play. The guards put a lot of ball pressure. They do a lot of gambling sometimes, as you could say. So we just got to take care of the ball and just be strong with the ball. We can't just be loose with it, dribbling, whether it's that dribbling or triple threat, just not having it out. And even their bigs, if you get in the paint, they got a couple shot blockers. So those are really the big things that we talked about on defense so far.
Yeah, just being offensively sound. Don't let them speed us up. We are at our best when we play our game. And when teams get us out of that, obviously, bad things happen. So it's just being ourselves. Don't let anybody else or any other team get us out of who we are and what we do best. So if we don't let the game or their tempo on defense speed us up, I feel very confident about our play.
Andrew Kahn, M Live. I know the regular season didn't exactly go as you guys wanted it to, but now that you're here, do you feel the season, the success of it hinges on keeping going and making a deep run in this tournament, or is that not how you guys view things inside the program?
We had 3 goals in the season. 2 of them we didn't accomplish, but since we are in March Madness, we have another goal to catch. So I feel like if we do get this goal, that's one of the goals, and it's a big one too. So I feel like we are playing for a season. We're playing hard as we can. Not saying we wasn't throughout the year, but now we're extra locked in, especially with March Madness. So we will take it one game at a time.
Yeah, it's the beauty of March. You could always make your season memorable in March when how well you do, and I feel like that's a great opportunity for us because we feel like we deserve it. We feel like we are good enough to do big things this month. So I just think it's just a great opportunity for us, and regardless of what happened in the past, I feel like we as a team are using that now as pretty much fuel and taking what we learned in those bad situations and applying it now. There's no better time to do that. So, yeah.
Any other questions? Oh, right there.
Jack Kingsley, Michigan Daily. You guys have alternated wins and losses for over a month now, but at this point in the season, your next loss is your last. So I guess what makes you guys confident that tomorrow's the day where you buck that trend?
We got no other choice. So I remember there was some jokes about. I remember Hunter this morning was saying we should play the managers, and so we can get the run, get the loss out the way. But that's Hunter for you. But yeah, I think every second is vital, and it could be your last game. So we have no choice to do that. We have to win, and we owe it to ourselves, and we owe it to our fans. We owe it to the people that are behind the scenes, like our managers, the director of basketball ops, from top to bottom. And there's no better way to do it than now. So, yeah.
Okay. Good luck tomorrow, gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
We'll have Coach Juwan Howard up momentarily. We're good. We good? Yeah, let's do it. Got your best seat in the house. All right. Welcome, Coach Juwan Howard from the University of Michigan. Once again, raise your hand if you wish to ask a question, and please state your name and affiliation each time you ask a question.
Yeah, hey, Coach. Gentry Estes, Tennessean. I noticed Jalen being at the game yesterday as you were leaving the court. Y'all shared an embrace for a while. I'm just curious what you can tell us about what was said and just how much that meant to you in the moment.
You really don't know me, right? The guys that are from Ann Arbor, the media, they know I don't really share anything personal. I feel that I always keep that in-house, but it was just great to see Jalen. He surprised me. I didn't know he was going to be here, but it's nothing like having family in the building supporting you.
Michael said WZZM 13 Grand Rapids. You guys, it's been a while from a win streak. Obviously, you've had moments in games where you play good, you struggle. In your opinion, how close are you guys to putting all the pieces together and just really, gearing up for something special here?
Well, we understand we're going to be playing a really good team tomorrow. This team is, they have size, and they have shooting, they have great coaching, experienced coaching. Our key is just try to be ready from start to finish, play a competitive game, because that's the type of game we're expecting to play Michigan basketball.
Juwan, Bob Wanowski, Detroit News over here. It seems like Devontae Jones is ready to come back. Is that true? And would you go straight into the starting lineup?
Well, Devontae was present today for our morning practice, and got out there and got a little lather, and it's a game time decision. So I will be on my knees praying tonight. Hopefully he'll be ready to go for tomorrow, because we're going to need all hands on deck.
We're going to go Zoom next for a question. Please unmute yourself and state your name and affiliation.
Hey, Coach Howard. This is Chris Idell from Herman Radio in Baltimore. Congratulations on the win yesterday. What does Tennessee look like in the and I know you guys played in the Big Ten. Do they look a little bit different than you've seen during the season, or what have you seen over your years of coaching?
Can you repeat the last part of your question? I'm sorry.
About Tennessee, what do they look like? In your preparation, throughout your whole career, coaching at Michigan.
Well, they're a very good team. What I've seen is that, I mentioned it earlier, they have great size, good inside play, rim protectors. They also have shooting. They're all over the floor from the perimeter, whether they're a primary ball handler or from Chandler or Ziegler, or they also have shooting from their wings. And they're a complete team. Great coach who's, as we all know, have had a lot of great success in college basketball over his years in different programs. They play in a tough conference, which is the SEC. They face teams like Kentucky and many others. So I'm expecting it's going to be a very competitive game tomorrow. But yes, in the Big Ten, we've had a lot of competitive teams that we've faced that are pretty good too. That it would be nothing new to us when it comes to facing size and facing shooting. But at the end of the day, we just got to make sure when we get out there, it's still basketball. It's still basketball. The ball is still orange and it's still round.
Back right there.
Michael Cohen with the Detroit Free Press. Juwan, I think Villanova is the only team this year that played Tennessee and had fewer than 10 turnovers in a game. What is it that Tennessee does so well to consistently force opponents to make mistakes?
Well, defensively, they throw a lot of different coverages at you. Sometimes they will put two to the ball and blitz. There are times when they have a soft blitz. There are moments when they put bigs in a drop coverage. They also have switched, 1 through 5, depending on certain lineups that they have in there. I've also saw some zone that they've played. So, with those different type of coverages, at times it can, of course, either speed you up. It will cause confusion out there on the floor. It somewhat get you out of some of the timing of your set, some of the scoring opportunities that you want to, score, whether it's inside or outside. But the key with us, we just can't overthink it. Just be patient, make simple plays, and not try to make the home run plays.
Up front, right here. Grant Raymond, 247 Sports. Tennessee recruited Jet pretty hard. Jace said a few minutes ago that he thought Jet came pretty close to picking them. What's it like as a parent going through that process in your position as a coach with other big-time programs coming after your school kids?
Yeah, my wife and it was more like the lead on that recruiting process, and she's also was there to help during the official visit. And I remember I couldn't go because we had an official visit lined up as well and a very important one that came out to visit Michigan. And I was a little disappointed because I wanted to hear the recruiting process, even though I had some opportunities to speak with their staff and the assistant coach and head coach. But having your son, who now you got to go through a little recruiting war with one of the top programs in the SEC, and Michigan being Michigan, I couldn't come there as arrogant and saying that, hey, this is family, got to stick with family. I still wanted my son to be able to choose his school that he felt was best for his college future, because I've already had mine, and it's about him, and I wanted him to enjoy the recruiting experience because he deserved it. He earned that right, and Tennessee being a great program, and I left impressed with them too. But my wife was too damn happy about Tennessee, and Jet was excited about the program and what they had to offer for his development, and he was truly impressed with Coach. So Barnes, I'm speaking of. So with that, it really came close. He was leaning towards Tennessee. And now you look at it, it's like full circle. Here we are now in the NCAA tournament. We're facing each other in the second round.
Andrew Kahn, MLive, kind of a similar question, but just so I don't write it wrong. Like, were you ever concerned that Jet would choose there, or is that not the right word? Because you.
No, that is the right word. Okay. I was concerned. I was. So I had to ramp up my recruiting, and not saying we did not give him the same. Not saying we did not give Jet the same recruiting experience that we would give other, prospects, but now I can speak of Jet. I won't get an NCAA violation, but that's still my family. That's my son. That's my blood. And with that, I kind of slightly threw that in my recruiting. No, I'm just joking. But yeah, I did get concerned. I really did.
You said you couldn't go on the official visit, but if you could speak to the interaction you did have with Rick Barnes and kind of what relationship, if any, you've built with him.
Yeah, I left impressed with the man, because I watched him from afar, and I've seen his success and how he's turned around programs and things over at Texas, and how they play some fun, exciting basketball, always stay competitive. I watched him very closely, because at times when Texas basketball, when Coach Barnes was there as the head coach, I was playing for the Houston Rockets, and there were 3 years in a row where we had our training camp at UT. So I was familiar with Coach Barnes. And then get a chance to talk to him and get to understand the man and being a family man. Also hear about a program and how he's helped develop, a lot of these guys who've had success in the NBA now, like Kevin Durant and P.J. Tucker and T.J. Ford, excuse me. He's had a lot of success in every program that he's been involved in.
Hey, Coach, Trey Wallace with Outkick. You talked about Kennedy Chandler earlier. What have you seen from his tape, even maybe going back to a recruiting process and looking at tape, and then what he's been able to do this season as it's grown over the course of the last 3 months?
Yes, Kennedy is one special player, one of the best point guards in college basketball, in my opinion. The way how he's able to make immediate impact right out of high school into the college level, that's pretty impressive. But it also says a lot about the coaching staff and his development and putting them in the positions to help lead the team to where they are today. Looked at his shooting. His shooting has gotten better. Kennedy's shooting like 40+% from three. He's always was known as a playmaker, a guy that can get downhill and athletic, and also a guy that can make plays for others. But no one never talked about his shooting, and you just see how he's worked on it, and that's one of his strengths. He's also a high IQ player. Has the same face. I always call it the Kawhi Leonard and the Tim Duncan face, where he never can see a young man gets a little rattled or frustrated, from what I've noticed. And I've always been impressed with how he's always mentally stable when things are going good or bad.
Take a question off Zoom. Please unmute yourself and state your name and affiliation.
Hey, Juwan. Cooper Mister from TSN up in Canada. Just wanted to talk to you about Caleb Houston. He seemed to have a couple key threes yesterday. Just wondered if you could talk a little bit about that and what you're hoping he can carry to tomorrow for you as well.
Yeah, Caleb, he's been great for us all season, and a freshman that step right in and, earn his starting position, and loves to be coached, and, he's getting better and better. I see great things happen for him with the game of basketball while he's here at Michigan, and also when he goes on and hopefully play on the NBA level, which I think he has a chance to. But in the second half, he made some really good plays and also some big shots that we needed that keyed our run. Sprinting in transition, which he's worked on all year, being able to stop, on balance and shoot a three with a hand that's flying at you, that's not easy. Also, coming off a dribble handoff and stopping on a dime, and then, being able to get downhill, and being able to, grow in that area, but wanting to grow in that area. Defensively, he's been improving. He's also has done a really good job of, with his length, of being able to get rebounds for us with his size and toughness. So we're going to need it. We're going to need everything. We're going to need everyone. We're going to need Caleb on Friday, but I know he's looking forward to the big day.
Mike Wilson, Knoxville News Sentinel. When you're looking at Santiago Vescovi on film, what makes him so difficult to guard before he even gets a shot off in terms of the way he moves and gets around the court?
Well, you said it. He moves great without the basketball. His feet is always moving. Kind of reminds me of a guy like J.J. Redick. Also, Duncan Robinson. Who other? Klay Thompson, Ray Allen, Reggie Miller. That's pretty special, because the guy, obviously he has to have great conditioning, and you can see that he worked on it. But then to be able to read where how the defense is playing, and whether they're locking and trailing, how to curl it, or if a guy shoot the gap, how to step back and shoot the jumper. Then also being able to make a pass and then go back and follow it by setting up your defense by getting them off your body. That's elite level, but it also says a lot about that he's a high IQ player that knows how to play basketball, and I've been impressed by watching him on film. He's a tough guard.